Hi, this is Mia. It's a horrible day, but I'm grateful to be alive. Um, I swear it was only like 2 weeks ago that I had my time of the month. I swear. But I had gotten um, 2 doses of homeopathic latcaninum from my doctor in Oregon, and he does homeopathy for me and gentle pressure chiropractic. He's a naturopathic physician, a chiropractor, and an acupuncturist, but especially his homeopathy and the gentle technique. I also have a naturopath who's also my dentist, so I have like all these multi people. I tried to hire one of the doctors I shadowed who's an acupuncturist and a naturopath, but she wouldn't ever respond to pretty much anything I said. Let's talk about her for a minute, since I'm in such a bad mood. Try to change up my attitude. This lady she had a clinic in Damascus, Oregon, which is out in the country, and on the way to her house, well, it was the country, now it's like the suburbs, like urban sprawl, and the road is super busy. On the way to her house, was it llamas or horses, or I don't know, there's some big animals with long necks. While I talk, I'm going to put my YouTube videos from yesterday, because I need to get them off of the computer because of all the memory it's taking up. So it looks like yesterday I put long-winded, an hour and 10 minutes, the THC cannabis video for the job. It doesn't look like... So that was Wednesday. Today's Friday the 17th. So Wednesday the 15th. I don't even see a video for Wednesday the 15th. But I do have some videos from the 13th. Jeez. I don't actually know if I posted those yet. So I'm gonna do yesterday's. Those are really long. Looks like there's 2. I'll just put the date. I know I probably talked about something with the topic, but I can't remember. I had to do them earlier. So I'll just say Thursday 4/16, so that was yesterday. This lady had, I think she only had one child, a son, and he's not much older than my daughter. Maybe he was like 5 years, he could have been up to 10 years older than my daughter. Actually, at the time, my daughter's only 20. Older than my daughter. Okay, they're like 10, 15 years older than me, the couple. So, this lady was single. She had this son. And I don't think she was single for long, because the kids are not that... There's 3 kids. Their ages are not that spread out. And they were all in school at the same time. I asked her how she met her husband. So she was an instructor at my school. He was an instructor at my medical school. For the... She didn't. She was sitting... I didn't have her, I don't think. I went to her class. She had started OCOM. She was a co-founder of OCOM, Oriental Medicine. And... What is Oregon College of... I don't know if it's Oregon College of Oriental Medicine. OCOM. And downtown Portland, Old Town, near Chinatown. I don't know who the other co-founder was, but anyway, she had, I guess she got her acupuncture degree on the East Coast. And she had her husband who worked at my school, he did some minor surgery shifts. So our one teacher died. I didn't have him, I don't think. I had the 2 older guys. And then the other, because the one guy was MD, he did my interview for medical school. That guy, Krushwitz, he was really old. And then Dr. Wilson was not that old. At least they look different ages, but not, they were both like gray hair. Wilson was EMT at one time, I heard, and then he was a naturopathic physician. The other one was a medical doctor. So when Dr. Krushwitz was sick, Dr. Wilson was covering his stuff. But then Dr. Wilson died, and it's interesting to think of that dynamic. Let's see what this text is for. Bill. It's like, and then So this lady's husband taught he was a chiropractor and naturopath. I think I saw his name before. He's also like an acupuncturist and who knows what other degrees. But primarily I knew him as the chiropractor. He worked at the chiropractic school regularly. And sometimes you think these people make a lot of money and they don't necessarily make that much money. And it's what's weird about our medical school, the naturopathic school, you charge the students money to do the shifts. So you might have 10, 12 students on a shift paying over $100 for 4 hours. So $25 an hour you're paying. But you're not paying, so $25 an hour per person times 10. That's like what, 2,500 every 4 hours. But they don't pay the teachers even $100. As far as I last heard, it's ridiculous. Not even $50. It's ridiculous. More money than I would make at this caregiver job. I believe if I go and apply to work at McDonald's, I would make more money. The McDonald's down the road was hiring start at $13 an hour, and that was McDonald's. Dunkin' Donuts might be the same. They do have tips jars, but this caregiver job sounds like slavery. Like, you have to pay a wage because it's not a volunteer position. You have to pay for your uniform, you have to pay for your background check. You have to go and cook, clean, take care of them, and drive your own car. I don't even know if you get mileage reimbursed if you drive your car all over to get their groceries and medicines and take them to doctor's appointments. I'm shocked. Like, you would think they would, like, I don't know yet, but you think they'd give you a gas card or something. But you're paying insurance on that, and you're putting the miles on that, and you're putting wear and tear on that. Even Pizza Hut didn't pay that much. Paid minimum wage also, but if you drove, you got mileage for every place you went. It wasn't that high. If you had electric car, it's better. And then you got tips, which aren't guaranteed. So that's kind of sad, And the people say, oh, they get a delivery charge plus you have to tip the driver. Well, what you don't know is the delivery driver gets a tip, which may be zero. But they do get mileage, which would only be, 50 cents sometimes, not a couple dollars. I don't know. I don't remember the formula for that. It's not bad. It's not horrible. Let's say it that way. I was thinking the school lunches were not bad. Which I don't have to do right now. This state is closed in Oregon, where I was. This lady's husband worked, and she had met him. How did you meet him? Because I had been single for over 10 years, and she said, actually at the time, it might not have been 10 whole years at the time that I knew her back then. And she had stated that she was doing the same old things with her life, and that she decided that if she wants something different to happen, she needs to go out and do something different. And that something different was some event. I don't know if it was a medical conference or a fundraiser, but it was a large gathering. And she ended up I didn't get any funding for my small business. Why are they sending me this again? I applied like 12 times for economic injury disaster loan paycheck protection program. I heard the money was all gone. I don't understand. Oh, it says it is now closed. Because they ran out of funding. I thought I heard yesterday morning, but somebody said it was like the 15th, like Tuesday night. Not yesterday was Thursday. Yeah, Wednesday night. And this guy was like kind of introverted and she's really extroverted. And I don't know how they did it, but my other doctor did this too. They bought a bunch of land. I don't know if it was 20 acres. They bought like 20 acres. They had a pool. They made the pool into a saltwater pool. They put in solar. They dug trenches. There's solar on the roof, which also solar heated pool. They put in grapes, like a vineyard. Of course, all their food was growing close to the house. Vegetables, kale, and all that stuff she had given me before. There was horses. The horses ended up down with her son, but sheep, chickens, a lot of chickens, cattle, lots of cattle. I don't know how many cattle, but she had them slaughtered regularly. Or she had the chickens. So she had them slaughtered regularly. I guess once a year, because she would sell the meat. She had her office managers calling, being like, "Cause this is what I want. I don't eat meat, but this is the type of country thing." She had her office managers or office workers taking the chickens to the butcher, and they were having to call her while she's seeing patients on the top floor of her house, talking about, how are you going to get it processed? How long can you wait? That kind of jazz. When you're out in the farm, have to bundle it up, wrap it up, cut it a certain way. What do you want? Wrap it up and put it in packages and have the people come back and pick it up. I thought it was really interesting. I've always wanted to be a farmer. I no longer eat meat or chicken or fish. I was watching talk shows, and a girl was getting the M something 2 words. Sounds like charades. I don't know what it is, but Munchausen's or something, where the parent neglects or hurts or something the kid and makes them sick, and nobody knows. It's not like considered really abuse, but it's shady as heck. Someone said someone had eating disorders and they were thin and frail, but they said they were only eating lobster and fruit. And I was like, oh my gosh, if I ever relapse on any kind of meat, I would be like, I'd be doing lobster. I'd add some crab and maybe even some shrimp in there and some fruit. I would be like, I don't know, what about my kale, which I need to do that or later. I need to just grab a few things of kale, because I had it a week ago and it's going to start going bad without me realizing it. I don't know what it is, but she said her husband dug trenches in the yard. I think it was because the pipes. Okay, it was the pipes. But he started digging. I don't know where they lived before. But what I thought of was that he was grounding himself, because he had all this land and dirt and earth and trees and bugs and microflora. And she said, yeah, it was weird. He came out here and just started digging and being in holes and being in dirt a lot of the time. And I think about that so much, because even in my old house where my kids are, I could go out in the backyard and be grounded. I'd feel really sick and tired like I do now, and I could go out and stand in the grass barefoot in the middle of cold winter. And now I live where someone else's property and I feel uncomfortable. I mean, I'm not gonna probably die if I step on dog poop or whatever, I do have to be careful of ticks. My daughter told me to wear 2 pairs of socks, tuck one into the other, tuck my pants into one pair. I need to think about that. I forgot about it for a minute. I did not sleep. We were arguing because I said we didn't talk, and that it's like, come home, oh, how's your day, talk, what have you been doing, this and that, and then the TV just comes on and gets cranked up, and I'm like in the middle of a sentence, and it's like, F you then, man. It's like, that's disrespectful and rude, and you're calling me selfish and pouty and acting ungrateful for the things I had, but I'm being made to feel unvaluable. And nowadays, I said this before, with the TV, you can rewind, you could replay. Heck, if you had an antenna like I did in Oregon, you can get on freaking YouTube, and it's highly likely that you could find a copy of something that you watch. It is not guaranteed, But if it's news, you're going to find the news somewhere that's very similar for your jurisdiction. You're going to find all that stuff. Movies, TV shows. The library has all that stuff. We can't go to the library. It's all digital. It's been digital. People are like, I'm giving all my money to the library. And I was just like, give me the money. Like, we pay taxes. Like, I always vote for the library. They've already, like these people think that they're taking all these funds and putting all these hoopla and all this stuff. Like, they've been having that stuff for, like, has it been 10 years? They've been because they keep having different ones, or, Lindsay, or whatever you call it, Libby, where you get the books, and then Hoopla, where you get the movies and TV shows, and there's comic books, and there's all kinds of stuff. There's music. We found some classes. Like, there's all kinds of stuff that's been on there. Homework help for kids and all this. But I respect that couple because they also had a dream to build a hospital, and they were trying to find property and trying to find funding. They got, like, there's a wolf in sheep's clothing that I know that had gone in there and infiltrated. She actually infiltrated that couple through me. And then I was supposed to work with these people, and they kicked me out after she joined. And that lady would get on the phone and cuss me out. And she was actually Hispanic, white and Hispanic. Like, you couldn't honestly tell she was Hispanic. You wouldn't be able to tell from looking at her. Maybe her name, if her name was partly. But you're just like, oh my God. A wolf in sheep's clothing. She cussed me out, told me what I don't belong. Like, I've been hanging out with these people for years. And you met me because you saw me talking to her at a conference, and you told me that hook me up with that lady. I want to work with her and do what she wants. This lady had empty lies, backstabbing, gaslighting, all that narcissistic crap. So sometimes when you get ousted up, I think that's the right word. I have a dictionary. Sometimes you have that happen. You just think, I don't need to. This video is 0% processed. I don't need to be a part of that group. And it got so bad, this lady was so bad. They're like, well, we have someone on staff who's has some experience with mediation. Why don't you call her? I'm like, dude, but you're the owner of both businesses that I represent and that I volunteer for. Gotta get paid for any of that. If anything, if I was to continue there, I would be paying them for me working. Like, isn't that crazy for naturopaths? You work at their clinic, you pay them to see your own patients. Like, it's not like, oh, the rent is $500 for this room space. It's like, oh, you saw $1,000 worth of patients today? Well, I'm going to charge you $400 to $600 of your pay. It's like, you feel like for $1,000 a day, you could work 2 days a month and buy a freaking office suite or condo, anything. 24/7 access. I know you won't have the nice waiting room and the reception, but you can make it. You can make it small. I tried to watch a video with a woman that was on YouTube. She was doing a 250 square foot apartment in New York City. I'm trying to find my lemon. I don't even see it. Here it is. I got only 2 lemons. I'm going on my walk soon. My cup I washed. So let's just... I didn't wash that well. There's still junk in the bottom. My water is not even hot. Dang it. Okay, whatever. Okay, there's a little bit of water. I haven't done my lemonade with the warm water and the honey in a really long time. The pot has been dirty and someone's in the bathroom. And that whole thing I started a video about having female issues. I feel like it's only been a couple weeks. Like, I need to get a move on that. Like, I need to get somewhere beyond. So I slept for like 3 hours. You know how much that sucks? I don't even need to tell you. I used to do that at my pizza job, and I could sit in my room and just veg out and play solitaire, which is lame. You have no energy to clean and cook and go run errands. It's like you gotta force yourself to run errands. I don't know why it's not processing. I went to the laundromat, spent $50, I believe, plus or minus $10, and these clothes, it costs 3 minutes. 3 minutes is 25 cents. So we spent a lot of money, and it gets to a point where it's time to go to bed. It's time to go home. Like, to keep putting quarters in. There's a cool down cycle, so you go from hot to cold, and it gets ridiculous, So I need to get that video processed, and I need to go check the other ones. I'm going for my walk now. I am way too tired. So I was gonna leave yesterday just like I was last week because I don't feel appreciated, and I have nowhere to go. My uncle doesn't live that far from here. His wife hates me. His daughter hates me. Like, at least at this day and time, I have a couple hours to myself. Because if I end up stuck over there on a $200, $300 freaking Uber ride, I'm going to be stuck there. It's like I would be hitchhiking on the side of the road. And that is a high county for high cases of COVID. It is a high case place. Oh, I didn't order any jerky, dang it. Alright, so I'm all over the place. I wondered if these kale chips, I didn't order any more, or veggie chips, contributed to my meltdowns lately. I usually drink my tea when I'm single. I usually drink my tea, and my tea did not get made for the past, like, week at least. Maybe it's been like 5 days. So, that is supposed to be a daily, multiple, 3 times a day. I bought a freaking quarantine bag full. £1 of recipe. I don't have time to be ignoring that. The problem with this is I'm gonna rinse this out. But just like coffee, technically it's not really necessarily that rotten. There might not be any more of this left. It's just laundry stuff. I forgot some more. I have this at Whole Foods. I did order my toilet paper, not the unbleached kind, which is right here. This one is also got 400 sheets per roll. The white one is more expensive, I believe. The 12 pack was $10.99, so about $1 a roll. That one's probably about $1, maybe $1.25 per roll. You get almost twice as much. Almost twice as much. That one, my gums hurt right here. Really bad. I had to floss. Really bad. Like, I'm about to call my dentist bad. I'm just gonna open the blinds. I keep looking. I ordered the unbleached, or the bleached one. It's not chlorinated bleach, but it's like recycled, non-chlorinated bleach. I got rashes, dermatitis, contact dermatitis. I'm just gonna force myself to freaking go outside and take a walk. I mean, it is what it is, folks, you know? I was up all night. I can't sleep. For the life of me. I didn't try that hard, but I know myself. I have a whole heck of a hard time falling asleep when it's light out. We forgot to bring the curtains, which would have cost us about $20 to $30 more. There's some room darkening, or like drapes. We'd have to put sticks up, or screws, or I don't know what. We'd have to be really creative because there's no curtain rods and no place to hang drapes, so that stuff is down in the garage with the mice and the bugs. We got 2 mouse traps up here. Oh, that's the second video. I think yesterday's. The second video is a mouse. I thought that I heard a mouse. And I was screaming to the top of my lungs. I don't know if I was screaming that loud. But I was fussy in the video. I was over here. I don't know if I was still filming it. I thought someone was in the garage under us. I was yelling, "Get out of here!" I was like freaking out. I was like cleaning out stuff from under the bed, which is good. That area under this piece of furniture was supposed to be this metal file cabinet. A little file cabinet is supposed to have my office supplies in it. I have not got to that yet. I started one eBay listing. It's gonna take me more than 24 hours to do one listing. And so I put the honey in, which I didn't even do. I was too busy eating. I hate being this tired. I was exposed to people coughing and sneezing outside of the place I applied for a job. They won't let me work because I said in the past I lived with someone who had TB. This person had active TB in the 1960s, before I was born. I lived with a person in the 1980s. This person, I was inside my house 2 or 3, maybe 5 or 6 days a month in the 90s. And that was only until 1994. And I've had many, many TB tests. There's something in my food. I've had many, many TB tests since then. And there's not saying that um, that I know I don't have it. The problem is I try to do healthcare for people and I don't get paid, so I volunteer and end up in a situation where you're exposed to communicable diseases, violence, and unclean conditions, and trauma, drama, and all of that. Anger, dementia, all that. I should heat the water up again. So I was doing stuff in the hospital, and I had patients in infectious disease. I had patients where they were in that negative airflow room, positive pressure, all this stuff. I had patients where, I didn't even know. As a naturopath, we didn't deal with ventilators. Not that I remember. I feel like I remember. I like gadgets, so I would have remembered. Don't get me wrong. Some things in naturopathic school you called a certain name, and other people called it a certain name. Most of the time, we tried to be at par with medical doctors in the hospital, so you have to be able to communicate. Sometimes, like, there's Mettler brand chiropractic stuff, and there's Chattanooga. It's like, oh, I remember that Chattanooga. I mean, that was just me, way of memory, because it says Chattanooga on the front. So whether it's a sine wave machine, whether it's what is Chattanooga? They have the heat packs, the reusable heat packs. They have the warmers, stuff like that. When my clinic lab changed management, they got rid of the. It's not a hydroculator. They got rid of the heat packs for blood draws, and they got like a whole bunch of disposable ones. And God, those heat packs were a miracle. My God, someone had really, really small, difficult veins or a heavy set, when you put a heat pack on their arm, come back in 5 minutes and you are like, cha-ching, got the blood, and you're like, have people pass out, and it's air conditioned and it's cold. You have people pass out. I've had a woman I had to catch. I was alone. I don't know where everyone else was. Nobody helped me. I had to lay her down on a table, an exam table, and I had to give her the heat packs, and I was wrapped her up in sheets, because I had done hydrotherapy when I was a medical student in that same clinic, and I knew the sheets were right down next to our office stuff, and I just grabbed some sheets, and that's where you get the towels too. I mean, you're supposed to get the stuff, and it has laundry. I like that clinic setup, and I'm going to take one thing from my medical school and that job. I like the way the clinic was set up. I wish that Medicaid wouldn't judge you if you have your sink outside of your room, your treatment room. But, like, we had community clinics that could take Medicaid and pass as a high-level care facility and rural health, all this stuff. It's like, they wouldn't let us wash our hands at one of our shifts. Like, you have to use hand sanitizer. Like, there's a bathroom, like, there's only one bathroom, you have to, like, not use it. Like, and it's gross because you have that bathroom door, this other door, this door, and everyone was sitting there eating. I thought that was unsanitary. So I'm putting the lemonade in. I put too much water in there. So what I'm going to do is take this. I dropped that bug yesterday too. So I had the bug, and I had it thinking there was a mouse, and then my partner thought he saw something crawling back there. Cause I don't know, I was pulling the furniture apart for some reason. I don't know what was going on last night. No one was asleep. That's what was going on. Insanity, Bill. And so, and I threw my straw away. There was a sticky mouse in there. It was a baby. There was a hole in the wall. This place is just pieced together like a cardboard box house, kind of. It's really strong. I'm trying to think if it's the fizzy water or the lemon. It's probably the lemon. It's a good sized lemon. I used 2 slices. I rinsed my mouth and gargled. I didn't even brush. And after I gargled, I was like gagging a little bit because it was strong. And it's not alcohol, just herbal and fillers. My gums were bleeding so bad. I'm like scared. All I did was swish some liquid around my. Oh my God, I'm so scared. Like, I gotta call my dentist. I'm gonna do it now. It might be a bad idea. I was gonna grab something plastic wrap. We didn't buy any more of this. We should use it just for the lemons. I don't want to go on my walk now because I have work I want to do. But I'm sensing the sun and the dirt and the trees and the pond, and I need to get out in nature. But I felt like because it's gonna start deleting stuff. My breast hurt from the biopsy thing. And it hurts for a couple of weeks, a month. Usually, when it gets increasingly worse and worse. I got a bunch of these. I don't have the stuff for the COVID. It's a purple top, small one. So you stick in the swab, you break it off, you tighten it, and then triple wrap. Which I stayed up all night when I couldn't think and couldn't sleep because the TV was on, and I asked to nicely turn the news off, and he got mad. And it's like freaking. It's like 12:30 at night. I've been trying to sleep. The news is blasting, and it's like you're not even watching it, and I'm depressed. My counselor is like, that is something you need to try to avoid at all costs, and that's before the news is even as bad as it is. Just regular news, just playing out every day, Trump, impeachment, this, that, you know. And as a child, as a young adult, I got myself in trouble in my mind by falling asleep with the TV on at night, maybe the late show or something. The news would come on for a couple hours after that, or an hour, and I got severely depressed, like literally not my own diagnosis. It was bad. It was a life-threatening condition, and I stopped putting the news. I turned the TV off or didn't put it on the news. So even sleeping with that affected me. This video might get erased because it's too full. The one thing I want to say, after I showed you that swab, I ordered those things that I need for the COVID. I don't have a collection container. I will send them an email and ask if they have it. Figure that out. But I feel like maybe that's what I could use, those eBay boxes, because you need a transport box. You need the cellophane stuff, or I can't remember what it's called. The stuff that can go out across the vial or tube, and it'll seal it in. The paraffin, waxy stuff. It's not called paraffin though. I can't get away from it. It's not like I can go in another room. It's not like I could sleep in the garage. It's not like I could sleep in the car. I could sleep in the garage with the mice. I could sleep in the car in the cold, have the dogs barking at me. I could put something out my tent that I bought out in the yard. It's not my yard. And could you imagine me, even with this much space, bigger than an RV, having to go sleep on the ground in a tent with ticks and bugs and bats and all kind of, no bathroom, cold, no water, like, just because somebody's like, and it's not, I don't consider it my place. I didn't come and get this place. I haven't paid for it. So I feel like I don't want to say too much because I don't want to invade in someone's privacy and somebody's choices. The memory is pretty much used up on the computer. I have to go buy